For some real talk about real issues to enhance your real life. Whatever you think, whatever you know, whatever you feel, Tanya doesn't mind talking about it. Get ready for some real talk that is always rated R, because Talk with Tanya has got to be relevant. Talk with Tanya has got to be refreshing. But most importantly, Talk with Tanya has got to be real. Tune in right now for Real Talk with Tanya White.
Hello and welcome once again to another live broadcast with the 2025 Today's Woman, Most Admired Woman nominees. And today we have a doctor in the house, Dr. April Brooks. Welcome to the show, Dr. April.
Thank you. That was an amazing intro. Congratulations to you as well.
Thank you. Now, Dr. April, first, before we get into anything, give shout outs to your Divine Nine sisters.
Yes, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
And give shout out to your real sister who helped me want to become a counselor.
Yes, Dr. Tiffany Marshall is my sister and best friend, and I have really grown being her little sister. I've learned a lot from her.
Yes, me too. She is just calm.
Yes,
no matter what.
Spirit.
No matter what, be like, Miss Marshall. No, she wasn't doctor yet, but let's talk about Dr. April Brooks. You are in the athletics division of the Today's Woman. Take us back to when you found out that you were one of the nominees. Over 400 submissions, and you were selected in the
finals.
My
gosh, I was so honored. I actually was at the state basketball tournament in Lexington.
Okay.
And I got a phone call to recognize this achievement, and I was just so focused on the basketball tournament. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. And so anytime someone thinks that your work is phenomenal, I think that's just a blessing.
It is a blessing. Now let's go to that. You are one of the first females in the position that you're in. Tell us about what you do, Dr. April.
So I'm the director of athletics in JCPS. I'm the first female to have this position, and I'm over K through 12 sports. So when you're going to games, academic competition, extracurricular clubs and things, as a parent or as a student, I help organize those things with the coaches and athletic directors at the schools. And so it's my job to make sure that every JCPS student has a rewarding experience after their school day.
After their school day, extracurricular activities in general are so important, but sports gives each student life skills. Mm-hmm. Now, what year did you become that in that position? The first woman?
4 years ago.
4 years ago.
2021.
It's been 4 years already?
Yes, it's went by so quickly.
So stepping into such a trailblazing role, what was your vision for that role and for all students across JCPS athletics?
So the first thing I did is I looked at the data. I'm a data junkie. And so one thing I noticed is that particularly for female sports, that we were kind of trending downward, or we were staying steady in certain sports. Mm-hmm. And I felt like for our young men, we weren't trending fast enough with all the sports that we had offered for boys versus girls. And then I realized we needed to add some things, like flag football has been a huge initiative of mine. And then also making sure that our special needs students can play sports. So we have Louisville Lightning, which is for our adapted sports. And we also had unified sports, which you may know is like Special Olympics and things like that. And so it was my goal and my vision to make sure that no matter what school you went to, whether you've had a disability or not, whether you have struggled financially with your family, that you can play sports and there's no barriers to that. So you'll see now we have free sports physicals in the summer for students to get to. And so a lot of my clinics are completely free for elementary students to learn sports. So it's really important to me to give access and opportunity to students.
Access and opportunity, and then also a variety that I heard you say, a variety of sports that, you say, hey, we don't have this, but we need it, such as flag football. What other sports did you see? You're like, hey, this would be good.
So step teams, we had a few step teams that were out there stepping, but we wanted to make sure it was like K through 12. So now, like at my last step show, we had 10 elementary teams. And so that was exciting to see that it's trending from the littles all the way up to high school. And so we also have boys volleyball now.
Okay, boys volleyball.
Really exciting. And it's now going to be a scholarship sport in college as well. So we're giving kids other opportunities that they may find out, well, maybe I'm not a football player, a basketball player, but maybe I want to play golf or lacrosse. And so just making sure we have those sports across all schools is really important to me. And if a kid wants to start something new, maybe a club or something like that, I tell them you need to go to your athletic director and find a sponsor, and we'll make it happen.
And make it happen. Now you see why she's one of the 2025 Most Admired Woman Nominees, Athletic and Fitness. Listen, now let's go back to the STEP team. You're part of AKA.
Yes.
My audience knows I'm the complaint crew. Okay. What is it about STEP team, especially for 9-9? And I'm sure every person who is a member of the Divine Nine, like, yes, I want to be a varsity step. What is it about that sport that you was like, yes, let's make it from elementary to high school? Because they're going to, especially those who go to college, they're going to be familiar with this craft. What was it about? Like, let's just go across the board.
So I thought, well, look, first of all, I was really glad that you said a sport because it takes some wind, some acrobatics. I mean, I've seen backflips. I've seen people get lifted in the air at a step show, and it truly is a sport. It really mixes cheer, gymnastics, rhythm, dance. And so I wanted to make sure that our African-American females, that we got to do a thing that we love. And so oftentimes it's like, well, maybe I don't want to cheer. I don't want to be on a dance team, but I want to mix all these talents that I have, right? And I really love stepping. I feel like it was a great way to kind of show our sisterhood and show our unique style as women of Alpha Kappa Alpha. And so I wanted to do that for our young ladies. It gives them a sisterhood, you know, and a group of girls that, you know, are doing something positive at their school. And so that was one of the things that I really want to work on. And some of our young men, because we're starting to see more boys are stepping as well and bringing a unique flair to their performance.
Yes, yes. Now, Dr. April, on these step teams, do you feel nostalgic and try to get out there and step with? I know sometimes, I know when I was a counselor, we had this little step team. Listen, I'm like, oh, I remember them college days.
So our very first step show, my Sands and I, we strolled.
Okay.
And somehow the news caught it, and here we were. Just reminiscing our college days, and it felt really, really good.
It does. And when students get a chance to see, especially educators, people they see every day as humans, and hey, Mr. Such and Such or Miss Such and Such did this, and I learned this from him. It just opens up a whole new world for students to say, hey, let me find out more about this. So I commend you for adding and being like, okay, first of all, reading the data. I'm a data person too. And also being the voice and the conduit of saying, hey, find a sponsor. If you want something, find a sponsor and we will make it happen.
Yes.
Now, 4 years in, I still can't believe it is flown by because it's just like yesterday that they announced it. What is your vision for the next 4 years? Because it's flown by and it's like, okay, I'm settled in this thing. What is your vision for the next 4 or 5 years?
So I believe in growing and getting better. And I think we need to perfect what we've already started and then start just really working on our facilities and our complexes because we want to make sure that we have facilities, one, that are safe, and then also that we have places for kids to practice. Because when you add all these teams, right, that's a big part of it. And so we've started our turf field phases. We're on phase 2. So you'll notice that a lot of the high schools have new turf fields. Shawnee was the first one. So shout out to the Eagles in a new stadium. And so that's one of my goals is to make sure that all our facilities are upgraded. If you've seen new gym floors when you go to schools like the Brown School and J-Town High School, that's all part of my vision and the superintendent to make sure that our kids have the best experience in JCPS and know that you can go to a public school, you can get a college scholarship, you can excel at high levels, and you can win a state championship.
Yes. Now, what being nominated, and y'all go vote for Dr. April Brooks in the athletics and fitness category at todayswomannow.com. You vote every hour from now until May 2nd at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. What has this nominee how has that impacted your awareness of what you do, and then what have you seen as, oh, this is a positive thing for to help not only me but some students at JCPS?
So anytime I can kind of elevate my platform and network and talk to people about the amazing things we're doing, it can only help benefit the student athletes. So we had a gala last year, and we were able to raise $70,000 from
Okay, 70.
corporations. And so I'm hoping this platform will help me be able to fundraise more at our next gala, which will be the summer after next. My goal is to raise $100,000 for student athletes for equipment, scholarships, things like that. So I think that's one way. And I think it's also important for little girls and for little boys to see a woman in leadership in sports. And so I hope they look at me, and I hope that I'm opening in the door, and then the next girls will be running through that door, and there'll be more than just myself at meetings. And I won't be the only female that's representing school districts. And so that's one of the things that I think is really important with this. And then also getting more spectators out at our events. Kids are doing amazing things. And I always say, let's talk about the positive like we talk about the negative, right?
Yeah.
When something happens, that's not so positive, everybody wants to tweet it out and we'll repost it. But let's share about all these amazing things that are happening in JCPS Athletics. You can follow me at JCPS Athletics on Facebook, or also jcps.athletics at Instagram. And so those are ways where you can see about how we're winning these state championships in multiple sports. Shout out to PRP High School that won the baseball championship last year. When
has PRP never won a baseball championship? I grew up in that South End, and my next door neighbors, they were avid PRP baseball. I mean, every year that they was in high school, it seemed like they won. So PRP, I don't know how y'all grooming y'all players, but they always
hard work and dedication. That's what I tell them: hard work and dedication. And then Manual High School's girls have won the indoor state championship several times, and the outdoor state championship, and cross country and esports. I mean, it's really a lot of sports that we're taking over if you look at the record books. And then there's so many individual state titles out there. We had a girls wrestler at Southern High School that just won. We have girls wrestling now that won a state championship title. So I could go on and on about the phenomenal things that are happening. But yeah, it takes a collective effort of the community supporting us as well.
Well, if you let's support Dr. April, go vote for her at today'swomannow.com athletics and fitness division. One word of wisdom to that little girl who is playing a sport that they never thought would be a sport that they could play, wrestling at that step at that. What advice would you give them as to keep going and growing so that they can elevate and be a trailblazer in whatever industry they choose?
I would definitely say that all things are possible if you believe. That's how I usually end my speeches when I'm talking to children. And I have to remind them that it's something inside you. Sometimes we think it's money or other things that give people an edge. But I believe that no matter what your circumstances are, if there's something inside of you and you believe and you work hard and you dedicate yourself to something, it is possible. And there's a lot of resources in JCPS that help make that possible. So we have athletic trainers, we have amazing coaches, athletic directors, we have mental health counselors. So we really make sure that our student athletes have a well-rounded experience. And I think that's what makes us different. And I also think that you have to be passionate. And sometimes you have to go above and beyond. So I tell kids, I used to get up before school and run because I knew I wanted to be a college athlete. So sometimes you may miss a party or two. You may have to study a little bit when other people are out doing things that they love. But all of that hard work and dedication will pay off.
It will pay off. It's paid off for you, Dr. April. Congratulations on your nomination. Vote for her now and every hour at today'swomannow.com. Continue to support, especially if you're a parent in JCPS and have a student in athletics, support with your presence and monetarily at the gala. Start getting your friends, because April said she wants to raise $100,000. It's possible. It is possible. Thank you. We can do it. Thank you for all you do. Tell your sister I said hello. And I will see you in virtual reality. Thank y'all for listening, and stay tuned. In about 15 minutes, we have another Today's Woman, Most Admired Woman nominee coming up. Thank you. Love y'all. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.